back here on the Seth Williams Show with Chris Aiken. And, hey, Chris, I don't know if you knew this. The Browns, in their existence, have never had cheerleaders.
That's good.
Until now.
Till now?
Until now.
Do we have cheerleaders now?
We do. We have an official cheerleader. Probably wearing the skirt with the pom-poms as we speak. And let's welcome to the show, John Drake, Bloom Doggy.
I've got the boobs for it, that's for sure.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And the Browns suck. We'll see you.
I appreciate it later.
All right, so I wanted you to come on the show because I wanted you to have, I guess, an opportunity to explain why you think that the Browns don't really completely suck ass and should just not take the rest of the year off.
Well, I mean, first of all, they're a 7-win team. They're 7-5. And interestingly enough, I know you're a Deshaun Watson hater, but they're 5-1 with him starting, and they average 28.7 points a game. And with him out of the lineup, they're 2-4, and they average less than half. They're at 14.3 points per game. So he actually was productive. He was, getting us wins, putting points on the board. It's hard to judge this season because of how many injuries you've had. I mean, when you really go through the list, well, I know, but it's even for what's going on in the NFL this year is pretty extreme. Your number one receiver, your number one quarterback, your number one running back, your all pro right tackle. Now you've got your starting left tackle out. Denzel Ward's missed some games. Myles Garrett is injured. Your starting safety Juan Thornhill's been out for a couple games this year. I mean, the amount of number one starting guys that you've been down, and you're on your fourth starting quarterback to boot. I mean,
but that's the Cleveland way. Let's be honest. That part is the Cleveland way.
Did either of you guys, when they brought the stat up on the TV last week, say the name before it even popped out of their mouths? Like, oh, the last time this happened to the Cleveland Browns, the starting quarterback was, I'm like, Don Strock.
Yep.
1988. We're so used to getting crapped out of having this luck that we all knew it immediately.
All right. First of all, let me just get this straight. I am not a Deshaun Watson hater. You know how many massage parlors I've been to? Probably more than Deshaun Watson has. And so I respect the hell out of this guy. In fact, I think that he should have gotten more massages and should have probably one of them on the sidelines during the game so that way he'd play better. So I am not a Watson hater. What I do think is that he's a thief and should be in prison for stealing our money because he can't play for shit.
Didn't you just hear what I said?
Nice guy.
Sexual assault, okay. Bad quarterback play, thievery.
Ray Lewis
got it.
And I don't care. I'd rather see him on the football field playing for the Browns.
That's pretty heinous, but
I agree.
Man. Yeah, I'm sorry. The guy's just not as like the whole thievery thing. Like it's not. First of all, we could say it's not our money, but you two really can't because at least I could say, well, I pay him $2,500 a year, so part of it is my money. So,
you pay $2,500.
I do. We have season tickets in the lower dog pound, and it's like $2,500 for the season.
All right, I swear to God, I will come over to your house and I will entertain the shit out of you for half that money.
Man, it's worth it. Dude, I'm a diehard. What can I say? And they're not as bad as you say they are. And you've already blown your prediction of 6 wins.
So they've won one more than my prediction.
So far, the season's not over.
Yeah, they've got 5 games left.
They have Gumby playing quarterback now. They have nobody out there. What are you going to do? They're not going to win another game this year.
First of all, I'm going to step in before John even steps in on that one. Say what you want about Flacco. He looked pretty goddamn decent on Sunday.
He had one practice squad.
He had one bad pass the entire game. Unfortunately, it cost us the game, but it was one bad pass during the game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sold on him going forward. I mean, the guy was crap last year, and I don't know whether you chalk that up to he's actually done, which I think is more likely, or the fact that the Jets' offense last year was absolute putrid, warmed over crap. But either way, it's still kind of I don't know. Definitely a better option than, P.J. Walker.
Yeah.
Jake has a good point. So we're going to act like the defense hasn't completely fallen apart the last 3 weeks. Browns fans will change their mind next year when Watson's cap hits $70 million a year, and we have to trade Chubb.
Well, they're not going to trade Nick Chubb, first of all. Cap hit, I don't really worry about. They keep doing all these gymnastics to get through that. They're literally the most cap savvy team in the NFL. It's been agreed by that even by professionals. And again, I really don't give a shit about the numbers. Everyone's like, oh, he cost us so much and all these draft picks. Like, that's done. We need production. And again, this year he was 5-1, and he was improving in each of the games we saw, getting used to the offense. To your point, though, I mean, Seth, you know what I really think it is? I started thinking about this because everyone's talking about what a great job Flacco did. I think that, you know, one of the mistakes they made with Deshaun Watson is not, as soon as they signed him, find like whoever was working on that offensive staff in Houston and go hire them and say, what did you do for Deshaun Watson in 2020? Instead, Stefanski's running his offense, and I think Flacco looked a little more smooth in it. And like you just said, he was in his backyard 2 weeks ago. So I you know.
But haven't you come to the realization that you live in Cleveland? Haven't you come to the realization that this is just our fate? This is what it's going to be, and you're not going to be a happy poor person spending $2,500 on the Browns until you realize that this is just the way it's going to be. Look, we have a team that on paper looked like it was ready for the Super Bowl. 3 out of the games that Watson started, his first pass went to the other team. I think there was one game where he actually threw more passes to the other team than he did his own team. Then we have Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb now looks like me, minus a leg.
Jesus.
Right? We have a defense that's supposedly the greatest thing since sliced bread, yet for whatever reason, we have a coach that doesn't want to play Myles Garrett the right way. Who doesn't know how to get people to do the right things. We have a shit team because it's a shit town. And until you come to a realization, you're going to keep spending that money and going, oh my God, next year's going to be great, though. Aren't you tired of saying next year's going to be great, John? Well, it's not. It never has been. In the history of you being alive, next year has never been the year.
Well, unless you count the Cavs in 2016, but
that's a bullshit championship because LeBron, the prick, actually is the one that brought it to us. And fuck him. And that championship means nothing.
Are you really gonna we have one title since 1964? You're gonna quantify it? You're gonna say, well, screw, no way, man, I'm taking that. I don't care if we won that title because the other team spontaneously combusted and they all died on the court in front of God and everybody. I don't care. I'd be like, Larry O'Brien Trophy, let's go. We're the champions.
I think basketball is a racist bunch of losers, especially LeBron James out there saying, don't watch my game if you ain't black. So you know what? Screw those people. No, I don't care about LeBron James and his stupid basketball team and his stupid basketball championship. It was garbage. I took a picture with that Larry O'Brien trophy too, and I threw it out. Yeah, I did it. I just it on my wall. But
yeah, I mean, you complain about Deshaun Watson throwing the ball to the other team, but again, he's 5-1. I mean, what did Jim Schwartz say? The only stat that matters is wins, and the guy was 5-1 as a starter.
It's not the only stat that matters. They won against the Arizona Cardinals.
How is it not? If you're
3 of us could have suited up against the Arizona Cardinals and won that game.
The Arizona Cardinals beat the Steelers on Sunday.
Steelers suck too.
Or on Monday, whatever day it was.
Who else did they beat? Somebody else too, didn't they? Beat somebody. Was it like Baltimore or Dallas or somebody like that? You know,
somebody good.
Any given Sunday. I mean, Seth, believe me. I saw my first Browns game in January of '86. I haven't missed a kickoff yet. I am, believe me, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I have suffered the pain. I'm not quite as old as you guys, and I understand that.
How old are you?
47.
I'm your age.
Oh, you look older.
Yeah,
wow, you look like you're 80.
Yeah, I thought you were nice. Now you're calling me old and stuff. Look, I was a child when Bernie Kosar threw Doug Flutie threw the Hail Mary pass to beat Bernie Kosar's Miami Hurricanes. I was at that game as a child. And then I followed Bernie up here to Cleveland with my family. We came up here, and that's when the Browns got him. I've been a Browns fan since I was your age, and they have sucked forever. Even when Bernie was quarterback, as much as I loved him and wanted them to win, they sucked. It was always next year.
What is your definition of suck? So
losing.
Did the New England Patriots suck the year they went like 16-0 and then lost? The only game they lost was the Super Bowl. Did that suck because they didn't have a perfect record in the Super Bowl?
Yes. Look, and I was rooting for them because you know what? I have an undefeated Miami Dolphins football. It's autographed and signed by the entire undefeated team, 1972.
Yeah, you were not alive for that.
No, my dad was, and he got that signed for me. Well,
that's like me saying that I'm a Yankees 1927 fan.
Okay, I was born in Miami, dude. So I have a history with the Miami Dolphins and the Hurricanes and everything else. So having that kind of football is an unbelievable thing for me. I'm a football fan. The Browns suck because they lose all the time.
I'm just gonna start calling you clickbait Williams, man, because you're with these extreme takes. Like you can't. they're not.
Take. Have they won a Super Bowl?
No, we all know this.
Last time we made it to the playoffs.
2 years.
2 years ago.
With who is quarterback?
Baker Mayfield.
Not gonna win.
We won a playoff game
before. Who did we make it to the playoffs before? Jeff Garcia was he the quarterback? Never gonna win anything.
Derek Anderson.
No, we did not. We missed the playoffs with Anderson. The last one was prior to that was 2002. Tim Couch got injured, and it was Kelly Holcomb.
See, stars.
Yeah, superstars at quarterback.
But you notice what they did that year, Seth? They made the playoffs with a backup quarterback, which is what we have now.
Wait a second. What did they do in the playoffs?
They fucking Dennis Northcutt dropped a pass that would have iced the game in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that was what it did. So it's bad luck because Cleveland sucks. And we're always going to suck. All the teams are always going to suck. And you have to get used to it, John. I'm sorry.
You just... That's a great reference. Jim Mora. Oh, my God. Dude, look, we got 5 games left, and there are winnable games on this. At the very least, the Jets and the Bears are winnable games.
The Jets, Aaron Rodgers will be playing. And
they're done. They're done. They just went back to Zach Wilson today, for Christ's sakes. That guy... You want to talk about somebody we all could start in place of? Yeah, like you mentioned a minute ago, there's one right there. The Bengals with Jake Browning.
The game of his life.
I hate to say it. I don't want to hear about the Bengals with Jake Browning. He had 350 yards and 4 touchdowns the other day.
I don't give a crap. Blind
something
squirrel.
None of our backups have done. That's
squirrel.
a bad reference there, dude. Because you ain't gonna see that from PJ Walker, and you ain't gonna see that from DTR.
Well, no, wait a minute. If everybody can talk about how Joe Flacco's a god for one game, I can't say that Jake Browning is crap because he had one good game. And I mean, he was shit the other game. He's Jake Browning. He's a backup for a reason.
Because the other guy gets Deshaun Watson money.
Scott is right. Everyone said we look great on paper, and I knew. Don't trust the paper. Things will happen, and they have. Because it's Cleveland.
Look, would you agree that with Nick Chubb, we'd have at least one more win with him because there were certain situations in games Nick Chubb would have been running the ball up people's asses. Hell, let's just say the game he got injured, he had 64 yards in a quarter. We would not have lost that Pittsburgh game. So you're looking at an 8-4 team right there.
First of all, when's your birthday?
February 26th.
So you are older than me, you dick.
Look, it's not my fault. Time has been unkind to you, Seth. I mean, come on.
Look, just because I haven't dyed my beard to look like the handsome beast that you are.
No, this is dye-free, man. This is just Italian, not really gray. I got gray.
I'm assuming you're wearing a hat because you've lost all that hair.
No. No, I got plenty of hair.
Oh, okay, good. Look at that.
Again, it's the Italian genes, you know. But yeah, I mean, believe me, I get the cynicism. Like I have it too. That's why at the beginning of the year, that's exactly why I said I don't give a shit what happens. 11 wins or I'm pissed, and I'm still on that train. They got to go 4-1 in these last 5 games, but I'm sorry, they got to do it. I am like you. I am sick and tired of all these goddamn NFL teams having all this horrible luck, and all of a sudden they make these deep playoff runs. It's like, oh, it's a miracle. It's about time we pulled that shit off.
Is the answer to that question yes, Chris?
I don't know. I've only seen John on edibles once, and he did not do well.
No? I fell asleep, like comatose asleep for like 4.5 hours on my kitchen floor. The only time I've ever touched a drug. For me, it's only drinking, and a lot of that. So,
okay, my point is that I don't think that the Browns again are a bad team. My point is that Cleveland sucks, and that something will always happen to prevent us from winning. And it has continued since you were a child, since I was a child, and it's going to keep continuing. It's going to continue to happen because we are a loser town with a loser attitude and a loser franchise.
Don't you think Don't you think by saying that you're
part of the reason,
you're part of the problem? You're like, oh, the city's a loser town. Well, how about change the narrative?
You think I'm perpetuating the losing? I don't think that that's happening at all. Look, our uniforms suck. What kind of colors are orange and brown? They're terrible. I mean, we have no cheerleaders. Every other team has like hot ass girls standing on the sidelines with legs up to the eyeballs. We have nothing. We have a fat guy that we call, what's his name?
Big Dog.
Big Dog. Yeah, we have fat Big Dog sitting in a dog pound with you. What's he doing?
Well, he hasn't been there
in fact,
for years.
he loses weight. Yeah. He screwed up the whole Big Dog thing and lost weight. Dumbass. There's been Big Dog out there.
How dare you get healthy, motherfucker?
That's what I'm saying. Could have been a true Cleveland fan and just kept the Big Dog thing and said he's a small dog. Now we have a small dog in a fucking dog pound.
Small dog.
Losing, and that's just going to continue forever.
Look, man, the numbers got to change at some point. I'm just not.
We have a racist, horrible billionaire as our owner.
So does every team. Okay, if you think all these other owners aren't giant pieces of shit, I mean, you're fooling yourself.
That is true.
Look at how many of these guys get busted all the time. Jerry Richardson had to sell his team. Dan Snyder had to sell his team. Jerry Jones accused of stuff. Freaking Robert Kraft. You know, I mean, it's like these guys.
Robert Kraft should have hired Deshaun Watson. That would have been a duo together. They could have gone to the massage parlors and hang out all the time together.
Right.
Now, wasn't there a controversy though about Haslam being a racist and stuff like that? With like people saying,
I don't know. Was there racism with him?
I didn't see a racism thing. I just saw that
he's a piece of shit.
I could have swore I saw that.
Well, there's something recently that someone's talking about with him. I forget what it is, but more slimy stuff from the Haslams. But again, are you surprised? And personally, I don't give a damn. I want to watch football.
By a former pilot flying J CEO.
Yeah,
Jimmy Haslam responds to allegedly racist comments made by a former pilot flying J CEO.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's been years of incompetence. I mean, to the point where in an employee meeting, some dickhead running the projector put up porn instead of a PowerPoint.
That was me.
You wish it was you. Could you imagine being in that meeting, by the way? And like, is that not the most Brownsian thing you've ever heard? Okay, well, let's look over the quarterly statements. Oh shit. There's people screwing on up there. Hold on, let me turn that off. That is, when I saw that, I was like, God damn it. Like
maybe you can run film like that because it would make the players more interested in what they're doing. Take a right at the nipple and take a fly around down the vagina. I mean, you can do a whole bunch of different things in a film with that.
Or maybe the whole point of the meeting is that the team is fucked.
Could be. It could be.
Look, we have a coach that for some reason decides that in every single game, whether he has a lead or trying to make up from a deficit, decides that we need to run the strangest reverse call that you've ever seen in your life to three people that have never touched the ball ever in their entire lives. I think they put a kid out there one time in a uniform and just tossed him the ball and said, here you go. They put the water boy out there and said, hey, go run this reverse because it's going to work for the 400th time. Every time it fails because it's a shitty team with a shitty town.
That's why.
No doubt.
Look, man, I mean, I was critical of Stefanski earlier in the season, and then I was like, okay, he seems to be getting out of that, and he was adjusting, and I was like, okay, he's looking better. And then all of a sudden the Denver game comes along, to your point, and like what in the shit was that? I mean, not only was it a stupid ass reverse, let's go singularly to that play. Not only was it a dumb reverse, but it's to a third string running back who you don't even trust enough to give carries to.
And so was it not also a quarterback that hadn't been in the game? Or was that a different one?
No, it was P.J. Walker.
Yeah, I was going to say, he hadn't been in the game the whole cut. They brought him in for that play and run a triple reverse or whatever. So
well, no, I think that was after the DTR injury. I'm pretty sure it was after the DTR
But that was another one that was a reverse. Stupid.
Well, and how about you got Kareem Hunt that goes for like a yard, 2 or 3, anytime you need him. So what do they do earlier in the game? They need 1 yard. Oh, let's do an empty backfield direct snap to the backup tight end for a yard. What are you doing? Like, so I mean, I agree with you there, Seth. I mean, the play calling is just shit sometimes.
Then you hired this coach not because he knows football, only to get women interested in the game because every Brown fan's wife wants to have sex with him, and that's the only reason why he's on the sideline. They show him 412 times, so that way wives will just sit there and drool while watching the game and they get better ratings. There's no reason that guy doesn't know football. You and I know more football than that guy knows.
All right, now we're getting a little crazy here.
I could call a better play than reverse 6 times to the same guy who drops the ball.
I don't know, man. Although one thing that we can do better than him, we can at least run the goddamn football. I mean, The amount. I think there's like 4 games right now so far that I've counted in the last 2-3 years where we're playing the worst or second worst run defense in the league, and he starts throwing the ball. I will never understand that.
When he had the 2 best running backs in the league last year, when he had Chubb and Hunt, and both of them at the top of their game, he would sit one and the other one is in the game. Instead of having 2 of the best backs in the league in the same time, so maybe you could confuse the defense, do something different. No. Go sit over here and hand the ball off to the same guy. It's ridiculous.
Well, and the play calling in that situation was obvious too, because what they did is if Kareem was in the game, 8 out of 10 they're throwing it to him. If Chubb's in the game, they're not throwing it to him. It's a run play. So you're basically telegraphing exactly what's coming based on the personnel on the field. So I agree with you there too. I don't think he's as bad as everybody else. Like, fire him immediately.
That's me.
I won't go that. Yeah, but.
I don't want him fired because it's the only way I can get my wife to sit through a game. Look, Stefanski again, honey. All right, we can keep watching. That's fine. But then I realized, why do I want to watch this bullshit that's on my television? They're terrible.
Well, again,
our stadium was terrible. Even the stadium was built for shit. That thing should have been a beautiful dome, or at least a retractable dome. Instead, they built another piece of crap oval cookie cutter stadium on the lake where it's freezing to death. They don't use it for anything else. You know why? Because it's a shit town with a shit team. You need to accept this, John, and quit wasting $2,500 of your money. If you want to piss away $2,500, I'll take $300 of it, buy a great TV, and use the other money for me.
$300 ain't gonna get me a great TV.
Dude, you can go to Walmart.
Great 30-inch screen.
Exactly.
You can go to Walmart right now and get yourself a 65-inch TV for $298, and I'll deliver it to your house. And you can watch the Browns in your bathroom with that TV for all I care, and I'm going to take the other $2,200, and you'll be just as happy. The beer will be cheaper too.
Look, man.
Believe me, John's not pricing beer.
No, I don't drink in the stadium. I'm smart. I do my drinking beforehand.
Well, then why do you go? You don't even know what the hell's going on anyways. You're happy with what?
No.
Now I figured it out. You don't know what kind of shit product they're putting out there because you're too drunk and you don't even know what's going on.
No, I don't get hammered before games. I don't do. No.
What?
During football games, I'll get buzzed up, but I not like if I'm at home or hanging out with my friends. Fuck no, because I want to pay attention to the game. So I could come on here and spew truth at you, and send you back to Miami because you obviously you're still pining for your days in Miami.
Sure, no better weather, but I can't speak Spanish, so I'm not moving to Florida anytime soon. But I sure as hell would take their team over the one that we have right now.
You're high.
I would take an injured running back before I would take any of the guys on our team right now.
Well, we had Kenyon Drake. I didn't hear you celebrating him for the 2 weeks he was here.
What's that running back's name that's hurt over there? I have him on my fantasy team. I'd rather start him when he's out than some of the players that we have. That I started some of our players. I started Watson. I think one time he gave me minus points in my fantasy league.
That is not true.
It is absolutely true. It's like,
you know what it probably was? It's probably that Indianapolis game where he was in for 5 plays.
Yeah, and threw the ball to the other team. Yeah, I get it. Chris, talk some sense to him.
I'm out of this. Y'all fight your fights. I'm just sitting back laughing.
So what's so great about the Muni lot? So you love the city.
Now, come on now.
Muni lot, that where they raise the prices because they can't afford to keep cops in our town because you get shot if you're going down to tailgate before the games. It's a shit town with a shit team. Admit it.
Has there been shootings in the Muni lot?
All the time. 18 people got shot last home game.
What?
Where'd you get that from? Now, you know what though? In Seth's defense, when they said, "Oh, nothing happened during the parade," like I
remember that.
There were definitely shootings.
You were texting me. I'll tell this story. I was in Pittsburgh. He was down at the parade for the Cavs. And all of a sudden I get a text saying, "You think it'd be cool if me and Steph left?" And I was like, and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "There's some shit going on here that just looks a little shadier than normal."
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. So look, they may cover up those shootings in the Muni lot. I don't hang out in the Muni lot The price and everything. It's no. But I mean, the one thing the Muni lot has going against it is those dickheads, the Browns bunch. They're the biggest bunch of douchers on the planet, and they just camp right in the middle and make Cleveland look bad with their stupid look at us like, oh, we're a Browns backers club, but nobody can fucking join. They're a bunch of dickheads.
Are they the ones with the orange bus?
They have a big setup. I don't think they're the ones with that particular bus, but yeah, they're just douchebags and on a special level. But yeah, I mean the Muni lot, like I don't tailgate there because it's a bitch to get in and out of, like you said, Seth. It costs an arm and a leg.
Don't say now you're making fun of me. It costs an arm and a leg. All right, yeah, you are an ass. Just because I lost a leg doesn't mean you have to use that reference.
Take it easy, Boxing Helena. Jesus Christ.
Boxing Helena. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you know that was not my intent. Seriously, I was just trying to get a leg up on the argument here. So, I mean, just seriously, like,
look, let's take this conversation one step at a time. All right. Before you get me hopping mad here, we're gonna have some issues.
Look, man, just walk it off.
Your hero LeBron James going to a parade for children and started swearing all over the place, calling, saying fuck this and fuck that. That's your hero because we have a shit town with shit teams.
LeBron James is far from my hero, but you know what? He can say whatever the hell he wants because we got a Larry O'Brien trophy. I was sick of losing.
Are you happy that he called you a racist?
I don't give a shit what he calls me. He can call me a racist all he wants. He's a nitwit. Like the guy's a team jumper. He's probably the best basketball player ever, but he's a team jumper. He needs to get his allegiances straight. Fuck LA. He should have stayed in Cleveland.
We can't even get Taylor Swift to play the Browns Stadium. You know why?
Good.
Shit town with a shit team.
She will when Kelsey moves here.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see her all the time.
You think Travis Kelsey's going to come here? Okay.
He's already from here.
He got offered. What did he get offered from Machine Gun Kelly? I think $1.5 million to join the Browns on top of his salary.
That's another winner, Machine Gun Kelly. Shit town, shit team.
All right, well, I'm going to agree with you there. I have friends from out of town. They're like, oh, you guys must love when Machine Gun Kelly does this. And we're like, no, actually, Cleveland really tries not to, like, oh, yeah, we've got Machine Gun Kelly. Like, oh, no. That guy's
Put yourself.
If you just put yourself in Seth's shoe, you would understand how I feel about this team.
Oh, my God.
It's an ass kicking contest in what, per se?
Oh my God! Yeah, no, dude, shit town. It is not a shit town.
What's great about it,
dude? Okay,
I want you to list. Look, we had Tony Versace going to come for another great restaurant. He's going to come up in a little bit, but I want you to list just 5 things that are great about the city of Cleveland.
Food scene is excellent. It's definitely a food town.
So is everywhere else. You can find
medical.
No, thank you. I was about to say that one. Medical. And Seth, don't say every other town is because I've traveled a bunch, and Cleveland definitely has a food scene that's pretty much second to none. So food, medical. It is a great sports town. We've got teams in each of the major sports. We've got, so that you can go to a game pretty much any time of the year, which is cool if you're into sports. You got that going for you. Look, everyone's going to shit on me for this one, but compared to other places you could go, the weather, we have snow, but so does the East Coast. They get blizzards and everything gets shut down and everything. Down south, Miami's got better weather. Yeah, it's called a hurricane. When it rains up here, we don't have to board up our fucking house and abandon ship. So, we got that going for us. and it's affordable cost of living compared to a lot of other places in the country.
Let me explain some stuff to you. Now, I'll rebut a little bit if you don't mind. It's an affordable cost of living because it's a shit town that nobody wants to live in because otherwise it would be expensive. Great food scene. Again, I'm trying to figure out what that is. I mean, what restaurant?
Why don't you ask Tony if it's a great food scene in Cleveland? He'll be on in a minute.
I'm sure that he's going to say that it is, and there are some great restaurants.
Meanwhile, Tony's sitting there with the owner of a restaurant, so you're really helping things here, Seth.
I can't afford to go to because the cost of living when you talk about is not really that great when it comes to eating out. So that's 2. Let's see, the weather. Mother Nature granted us the ability to have snow. Okay, that's great. Fine. But I don't think that's a Cleveland thing per se. But anyways, and then it's great if you're having a heart attack or cancer, come to Cleveland because at least you got good medical. That's really that makes you want to move to Cleveland.
I would if I have a heart attack. If I had a heart attack or if I got cancer, hell yeah. Oh, I got to go to the doctor. Let me just get in the car and drive. It's only a hop, skip, and a jump. There we go. There's another one. Been looking for a place to get that one in there.
I just don't. You listed off some things that I just don't think are really make Cleveland such a fantastic place.
Rick hit it on the head here. And we're close to pinball. Good point, Rick. Great point.
There you go.
We have zero music scene anymore, as far as concert clubs.
Yeah.
Concerts go. Big concerts don't even come here anymore. We have sports teams that you said that all pretty much suck. The Indians have not won a World Series since, 48? They've been.
Guardians.
Sorry, that's another reason I hate Cleveland. They changed their name to the Guardians. The Browns haven't won anything ever. We idolize Jim Brown, a guy that beat the hell out of women, tossed one off a balcony, but that's our legendary sports hero in his town. That and LeBron James, the biggest prick on the face of the earth, we idolize those two as being the best Clevelanders that we can come up with. So, look, I love it because I've been raised here, and I don't plan on going anywhere. I mean, I like the restaurants that I go to. I'm fairly regular at most of them, and I guess it's okay. But when you look at it from a different perspective, this is not a really great town.
I would disagree. See, I told you, you're still pining for Miami.
No, but I want a downtown I can go to and not get shot, where there's actually cops patrolling the street.
Well, then you better move to Mayberry. Because there ain't a big city in this country that you can live in that you don't risk getting shot when you walk downtown. Where's better? Chicago, New York, L.A., Akron? You can't go walk downtown Akron. Or hop or whatever the fuck you do.
Oh,
wow, man, with the leg jokes today. It's unbelievable.
You started it. I just jumped in. See, jumped in.
There it is.
So I don't know. I'm just giving you my opinion. I think that we're lacking a lot of things, and I think that we could do better. And sports are definitely one of them.
Well, I mean, the Browns are competitive right now. The Cavaliers are competitive. The Guardians, I'm completely with you on that name change, by the way. They were competitive with Tito Francona. I think they're going completely into the shitter. That's a whole nother sports thing, but I think Tito was the reason for any success that they had. He was a bit, See, there you go. Corned beef and polka. See?
There you go.
Hail Cleveland. Woo.
Hey, man, the corned beef is pretty damn good, and I don't even eat corned beef. So
I don't think you should. Judging by the three of us and the way that we look on these cameras right now, none of us should be eating the corned beef.
I told you.
Then you're going to be real happy. I guess you live in Cleveland because you're going to be heading down to that clinic that you wanted to visit so bad.
Exactly. And the clinic is right down the street from Little Italy. So I can go get a bypass and follow it up with some veal parm at Guarino's. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And then I'll go catch a Browns game, and the Browns will win they'll go 10-7 this year, make the playoffs, and then I'll come on again, and you can explain to me why they suck when they're in the playoffs.
All right, Little Italy is one of my favorite places to go. Love it, except I can't go there because I can't find a friggin' I almost swore, but we have a guest online. A friggin' parking space.
That's stopping you.
I can't find a parking space down there. God forbid I ask for a handicap spot down there. They might as well just wheel me down to the hill.
That would be quicker.
I like Little Italy. I love Little Italy, but I wish I could go there and dine.
Well, I'll give you that with the parking. That is pretty hellacious. It's if you don't take the rapid, it's a crapshoot. Especially if you're going at night, you can just forget that. You got to park somewhere in Uber, basically.
Well, John Drake, I want to thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me. Enjoy Miami when you move back.
I thought you were. At least you showed up, so I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
We're going to have to continue this conversation another day and on Facebook as well because I enjoy that. So.
Can you, real quick before I go, ask Tony if the restaurant he's sitting at on the door, did they have a sign that says no shirt, no shoe, no service? Okay.
Wow. Tony, did you hear that?
I did hear that.
He's making fun of my handicap once again.
And no leg also should be on that side? Yes.
Yes.
There we go. All right, well, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, John.
All right, John.
Take it easy, guys.
Are you looking for a way to support the Seth Williams Show? Get your Seth Williams Show merchandise today. From coffee mugs to clothing and everything in between, our high-quality merch is the perfect way for you to not only support the show, but show everyone what is the greatest show going today. Just go to shop.thesethwilliamsshow.com now, shop around, and buy some great merchandise from The Seth Williams Show. Shop today.
Oh my god, Staples actually sells staples.
Right back here on the Seth Williams Show with Chris Aiken on CMS TV, the CMS Network.
Yeah. Hey, did
Rumble.
Mario...
Make sure you're watching the show on Rumble. It doesn't matter because you're watching the show now, but Rumble.
Did Mario cut your hair here?
All right, dude. Seriously? Take that, shove that picture. I got to call.
Just asking.
I got to call Joe Burdick and tell him to remove that picture from the.
Too funny. All right, so I have the Jason Aldean song. It's been up for 5 days. It's not banned. It's on YouTube. So let's see if we can avoid getting our channel banned on YouTube for playing a YouTube video.
And banned.
And banned. So apparently, I don't know this song. Do you know the song at all?
I think I've heard it. My wife listens to country, so I've heard it in the radio.
Yeah. Apparently, it talks about defending yourself if somebody comes to your door to rob you or something.
Okay.
That's what I'm grasping from this, is that's what the lyrics are about. Again, I don't know the song, but let's check it out. Here it is. It's Jason Aldean. Try That in a Small Town.
Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think it's tough? Well, try that in a small town.
All right, yeah, this beats no narrative whatsoever.
No. But I totally agree with the song. I love the song.
Yeah, I agree with everything he's saying. But yeah, the YouTube, now let's get to some real Nazis. The people that run YouTube, they definitely would not be for this song.
No
way. All right, let's hear more of this. I'm intrigued. And I really don't care if we do get banned from YouTube, so fuck it. Here we go.
See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town.
You know, that is an interesting phenomenon when you think about it. Why is it that in the big cities that there's not enough people to quell this shit? But if you take it to a small town where there's less people, they will beat you within an inch of your life for burning the flag or whatever.
Because look at the big cities. Look at New York. Look at Chicago. Look at even Cleveland. The majority of them are liberal run and liberal. I guess
I get the leadership. I'm just talking people.
But people gravitate toward that. I think majority of liberals probably live in places like New York, San Francisco, Chicago. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, I don't know. I can only equate this to. Remember after 9/11, and they had a big rally in the streets in downtown. That was like the only time I ever went down for any of that stuff. But I just was like, I knew the police were going to be overwhelmed, and I went down there, and there was like a collection of like former GIs and whatnot. There was easily 100, 150 of us. And when the shit went down, we all started fucking knocking heads. Yeah. You know, until the police pushed us away, and then the police just pushed us out of the way, and then they were knocking skulls too. But when it all broke loose, I mean, we were standing side by side with the cops, throwing punches and, you know, taking people down. And it's like, I'm just always fascinated that I get what you're saying, that, you know, a blue city like New York City, but I don't believe, and maybe I'm just naive, I don't believe that the citizenry is 90-10. 90% blue, 10% red. I believe it's more like 45-55. And
I'd like to think that, but I'm not sure about that. I really do. And I also think that people are afraid to get involved.
Yeah, well, that's probably it, too.
You see somebody burning a flag, how many people are actually going to run over and do something? I know I would.
Mm-hmm.
But
these days, you probably go to jail if you stop them.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I mean, I think a lot of people are afraid to get involved. I think,
No.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You see these people that are spitting in cops' faces. Of course, I'd like to go up there and smack the shit out of them. But you can't. There's a riot going on. I mean, these people, it's crazy. It really is.
It is. I
asked the cop today when I was talking to him at the Feeding the Police thing that we did with Billy Morris and Joe Burdick. And I was saying, what's it like? What's it like having a mayor that sits there and says that it's the Republicans' fault that the shooting down in the warehouse district happened? I said, what's that like? And he just looked at me and said, I don't even know what to tell you. And a lot of those guys were sitting there going, they can't stand what's going on in the White House, much less in City Hall. And it's scary. It's scary that one of the things that was said, and I don't even know if I should be saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways, is that the morale for police is down.
Of course, yeah.
And maybe that's not something that people don't already know, but they're afraid to do their jobs, and they can't do their jobs. And so they can't even stop the flag burnings and the spitting in the face and all the junk that that Jason Aldean was talking about.
Yeah. I have a friend that lives out, I don't want to say where he lives, but he lives near Chad or whatever that place was.
Yeah.
Lives out there. Now this guy, I was in the military with this guy, and then he was up to that point, a 25 or 26 year cop, behind his military time. So he served in the military and then he was a cop. And I've known him. I mean, he's a good friend of mine. And he would have stayed a cop until the day they forced him to retire, up until about 2018.
Yeah.
And then when everything broke off and they started with with not protecting the cops and arresting cops, he just said, here's my paperwork, I'm out. He quit. And I have to think that's the overwhelming majority of cops these days. Why would you, especially if you've got time, you've got enough time to get a pension, why would you risk your freedom and your money and everything for these assholes that are in these neighborhoods?
No, I totally agree. And again, talking to these guys today, it's sad. It's sad to see that. And the upsetting part to me is that I have liberal friends.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They don't care that these cops are sitting there going, hey, what's going on in the White House does affect what we do.
Yeah.
What is going on in City Hall with the mayor that we have does affect their jobs. Mm-hmm. And they don't seem to care. I mean, it really does hurt what they're doing, what they're trying to do. And these guys are not out there to hurt anybody. They aren't racist. They aren't trying to shoot some poor black kid in the back or anything like that. They're out there trying to do their jobs.
Yeah. Well, it's a weird problem, and it's like instead of meeting in the middle on some issues, it's like we just swung all the way to the other side. We just skipped the middle and went all the way to the other side. Yeah. Because obviously, I mean, you can go back to Rodney King or Watts, or you can go as far back as you want. But let's just say Rodney King. I don't know what you think, but the Rodney King cop should have been put away. Do you agree with that?
Yes,
they should have been put away.
Yes,
that sent a horrible message.
Yes,
the middle ground should have been, we got these idiots on film, put them away for acting like idiots, and send a message to America that we will not tolerate this nonsense.
Right.
Because the fact that we tolerated that nonsense is why we have what we have now, which is a bunch of people that don't respect police on any level at all, including our government people. the Maxine Waters of the world.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Maxine Waters of the world that stood by and watched Rodney King and took that as a beacon to their political career.
Right.
And so now, I mean, isn't she the one that said, if you see any Republicans in a store, you got to harass them and whatever, tip over their dinner tables or whatever. I don't remember what she said, but she said something about be radical.
Yes, she did.
And it's like this is the direct result of us not being.
I have some of that. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I want to say this plain and simple. There is no place for political violence in America. Period. None. Ever.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemy.
It goes on.
Yeah, it goes on and on. Where are all these tough talkers? That's my question. Where are they at? They talk a big game, but they won't back their big game. Because if they back it to the wrong person, someone like me, they will get punched in their fucking head. They'll get a pistol whipping. That's just they talk all kinds of nonsense, but it's like they talk it from the safety of a microphone.
Absolutely.
They don't talk it. They don't talk it from in front of somebody.
CMT has removed Jason Aldean's new music video from its air rotation after a video garnered on.
And Seth froze. Are you back?
Hello.
There you are. You froze up for a second. But yeah, Aldean, good for Aldean for putting this video out there. I'm surprised YouTube hasn't yanked it down yet.
Well,
that is surprising.
I don't know if I can read this message. Black Jelly Bean guy. I hope this country swings so far to the right these people's heads spin farther right than I can fathom.
Banned!
Yeah, and banned.
Banned! It doesn't matter if we get banned anyway, because we are on Rumble. You can certainly check out with Rumble. And beginning next week, we will be on the SethWilliamsShow.com, where people can leave comments just like they do on YouTube. So that way, if and when, and I think it's safe to say it's a when YouTube bans this show, it won't make any difference. You guys will still be able to participate just from the SethWilliamsShow.com.
Yeah, we need to put that up. Like the Seth Williams Show, the SethWilliamsShow.com, the SethWilliamsShow.com. Start watching the show there because you'll be able to, next week anyways.
Yeah, starting next week, you'll be able to comment.
You'll be able to comment.
Just like you do on YouTube now. So you won't. And look, we're not trying to get banned, but we know we're going to get banned. We just know it. We know it's going to happen.
Because, I can't even put a Flat Earth guy on.
Yeah. Flat Earth guy killed my channel because I put it on that channel and they banned it. So it's going to happen. So whatever. Is what it is.
It's frustrating because, you have more freedom on actual radio than you do on this.
You do. Well, on YouTube.
Right.
On YouTube. Because, like, even on Twitter. I mean, we're on Twitter if anybody wants to follow along on Twitter. But, there's more freedom over on Twitter.
But thesethwilliamsshow.com, you don't have to sign up there. You can just watch the show.
Hey, you watch the show, you just drop in your name and you have an account. You can leave messages and stuff. So do that.
Well, it's been fun today. I enjoyed Moon Fever. Very good stuff. Good
fun.
band. I like the music. And then next week, well, I guess next Monday we have Saliva on.
We do.
And then Drowning Pool on Wednesday. Looking forward to that. Hopefully Tony Masashi will be back.
Yeah.
In action. I want to thank everybody at the police event today. Joe Burdick, Burdick Custom Flags, presented a flag to the police. It was fantastic. Billy Morris, his smoking rock and roll food truck. It was a good time. Jake Underwood was there. And it was a good time. So, and I want to say I appreciate everybody calling me a Nazi tonight. And fat and all the horrible things that have been said.
Yeah, you took a beating tonight, that's for sure.
And we will try to get the Hindu band on as well.
Yeah, we'll try.
Guys, link to your pay site. You can give stars on Facebook, I think. I don't know
what does that
works.
do?
Gives us money.
Does it?
Yeah. Fun show, guys. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. The Sunday breakfast. Oh, if there is one, I hope that I'm still invited to breakfast after being called a Nazi, racist, horrible person.
Do you think you're not going to be welcome to breakfast anymore?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the coming days.
That's funny.
And we'll try to get somebody on to talk about issue 1. When I do that.
Yeah, we definitely need that. So,
all right, everybody have a great rest of the week and a safe one. Thank you for listening. God willing, we'll talk to you again on Monday.
See ya.
See ya.
UFM is underwear for men. UFM underwear provides unheard of support, which eliminates the need to adjust yourself throughout the day. This underwear is the perfect fit for work, athletics, or just day-to-day activities. Shop underwear for men now and never be uncomfortable in your drawers again. Shop online at www.bit.ly/CMSPN-UFM today. Underwear for men.